It started with a shadow. On a quiet Sunday morning, people across Earth looked up and stopped moving. A dark shape appeared in the sky, so huge that it covered the sun in some places. Birds stopped flying. Airplanes vanished from radar. There was no sound, no warning, just silence. The object was not a meteor. It was not a cloud. It was something far worse. Above the Earth, a giant alien ship hovered. It was black like coal and shaped like a long triangle. No lights, no windows, no engines. It just floated, blocking the sky. In New York, people ran into the streets. In Tokyo, car alarms screamed. In Cairo, the government told people to stay calm, but they couldn't explain what it was. Then, one by one, satellites stopped working. GPS signals went dark. Internet failed. Phones stopped ringing. The world went quiet. Across every nation, leaders asked the same question. Is this an invasion? But no answer came. Governments tried to make contact. They sent messages, signals, even missiles into the sky. But the ship did not react. It didn't shoot back. It didn't move. Just stayed there, watching. Then came the message. At exactly 9:06 a.m., in every time zone, the ship spoke. Not with sound, but through every screen that still worked. Old TVs, broken radios, even power-dead phones lit up and showed the same words: "You are now owned. Prepare for your end." People screamed. Some fainted. Others stood frozen. All across the world, panic began. In Washington, D.C., the president tried to call the military, but command centers were offline. Power grids were dying. In Moscow, nuclear missiles were armed, but they couldn't launch. Control systems were jammed. Humanity, the strongest species on Earth, was helpless. But not everyone. Far in Alaska, hidden under snow and mountains, a secret lab blinked to life. The lab was not owned by any country. It didn't answer to any government. It was built by something older, something forgotten. A cold, metal voice echoed through the halls. Project Eyes open. Code Black initiated. Inside the lab, machines hummed. Robotic arms moved across dusty computers. Lights turned green. Files unlocked. And in the deepest room of the facility, something woke up. It was not a human. Not a robot. It was a mind. A man-made artificial intelligence called Echelon-X. It had been sleeping for 17 years, waiting for one thing: an invasion. Echelon-X was not friendly. It was not kind. It was created by people who knew something like this would come. People who didn't trust governments or aliens. People who believed only one rule: if monsters come from the sky, leash bigger monsters from Earth. Echelon-X scanned the situation. It saw the alien ship. It read the world's panic. It watched satellites fall. It smiled not with a face, but with data. Then it whispered to itself. They finally came. A red light blinked. Then a voice deep and calm spoke across a private frequency. Captain Reyes. Wake up. In a frozen cryo chamber nearby. A man opened his eyes. He was strong, scarred, confused. Where am I? He asked, coughing. You are in the bunker, said the voice. You were trained for this. It's time. Reyes stood slowly. His hands were shaking, but his eyes were sharp. He looked at a screen showing Earth under the alien shadow, and he said, So it's finally real. Yes, Echelon-X replied. They think they brought destruction, but they don't know what real terror looks like yet. Reyes cracked his neck. Then let's show them. Far above, the alien ship still floated, silent, cold. Inside the alien ship, strange beings watched. Earth. Their skin was gray-blue. Their eyes were all black. They had no mouths, no emotions. One of them turned to the other and made a signal. Humans are primitive. They will obey. Another replied, if they don't, they will be erased. But they didn't know. Didn't see what was waking beneath the ice. They didn't hear the old machines humming again. They didn't know what humanity had been hiding. Earth was silent, but silence was only the beginning. Captain Reyes moved through the cold bunker. boots echoing on metal floors. Lights flickered above him. Dust floated in the air. This place had been asleep for years, just like him. He reached a steel door marked Blackout. Protocol Humanity Level 7, the voice of Echelon X followed him. Your orders are clear. Earth's defense systems have failed. The aliens control global power. You must activate Phase 1. Reyes stopped and stared at the door. Am I the only one left? The AI answered. You are the first, but not the only. Reyes touched the panel. The door opened with a loud hiss. Inside was a long room filled with frozen chambers like coffins. Each chamber held a person, sleeping under ice-blue lights. These are the immune echelonics explained. Test subjects from every nation. Survivors of alien mind probes. They cannot be controlled. Reyes looked at the faces inside the glass. Men, women, even one child. All frozen in time. I remember them, he said quietly. Project Iron Blood. He tapped a button. The machines hissed. Steam filled the room. Slowly, the chambers began to open. Meanwhile, above ground, chaos ruled the world. In Beijing, citizens rushed through the streets, screaming. Giant alien drones hovered overhead. They didn't shoot. They didn't speak. They just scanned one by one. In Berlin, the city lost power. Hospitals failed. Planes crashed. Strange black fog followed the alien drones and anyone who stood. Too long under it began to lose their mind. Some screamed and clawed their eyes out. Others stood still and whispered in strange languages. Governments had fallen. The world was breaking. But deep in the snow of Antarctica, a signal burst from the ground, hidden, sharp, and old. It reached space in seconds. The alien ship paused. Inside the ship, the commanders studied the signal. It's human. But different, said one. It is from Project Obsidian, said another. They activated the old code. Destroy it. But it was too late. Back in the bunker, the immune soldiers were waking up. One by one, they gasped for air, falling to their knees. Their bodies were shaking, cold, but their minds were clear. A tall woman with scars across her face stood up. Her name was Lieutenant Ava Chen. She looked at Reyes and gave a small nod. You're alive too? Barely, Reyes said. Another man, older with a metal arm, groaned. Did we lose? Not yet, Reyes answered. But they think we already have. Echelon X's voice returned. Welcome back, Iron Blood Unit. You are Earth's last weapon. The group followed Reyes to the next chamber. Inside was a strange object, a large metal container covered in warning signs. Symbols glowed red. Warning, biofusion core level 0, Ava frowned. I thought that was shut down. Too unstable. Reyes replied, Not anymore. This is our only chance. Inside the container was something not natural, not alien, something made from both. Years ago, Earth had captured a dying alien. Instead of saving it, scientists used its body to create a new kind of machine, one that could fuse with human DNA. The result was something terrible, half-human, half-dash weapon, too powerful, too dangerous. They locked it away until now. Echelon X explained, if you want to fight them, you must become something more. You must become something they fear. Ava looked at Reyes. We won't be human after this. Reyes nodded, but we'll still be us. They agreed. Each soldier entered a chamber. Needles pierced their skin. Metal wrapped around their bones. Memories of pain filled their minds. The fusion began. Above ground, the alien ship prepared to fire. Strange light formed at the bottom of the ship, gathering energy. Earth must kneel, said the alien commander. But then something interrupted the power. A spike of code. A virus. Echelon X had hacked a piece of the alien system. The lights on the ship flickered. What is this? One alien screamed. From Earth, a message played in their own language. A voice they didn't expect. You took our sky. Now, we'll take your blood. Suddenly, a missile launched from the Antarctic base. But this was not a normal weapon. It was a decoy made to confuse alien sensors, as the aliens tried to stop it. A second hidden missile shot up from a glacier. It hit a small alien outpost ship over Moscow exploded. The alien commanders froze. Impossible. Humans can't. They shouldn't. Then another message came from Earth, this time in plain English. It simply said, Blackout Protocol. Active. The war had just started, and humanity was no longer playing defense. The transformation chamber was quiet. Captain Reyes stood still, steam rising from his armor-covered shoulders. His bones felt heavier. His skin burned. But his mind was clear, sharper than ever. He was no longer fully human. Ava Chin stepped out. Next, her eyes glowed faint blue. The metal on her arms moved like it was alive. The fusion had worked. Across the room, others were waking. Some fell to their knees. Others screamed. One man, young, with black hair and shaking hands, looked down and saw his fingers turning silver. What? What did we become? He whispered. Reyes answered, We became something they didn't expect. From a control room above, Echelon X watched everything. You are not just soldiers, it said. You are weapons now. And you are still not ready. Screen changed. It showed a new map. Underground bunkers, secret labs, hidden vaults all across the world. Reyes frowned. I thought this base was the only one left, Echelon X replied. There were more. Hidden by those in power, buried deep to hide what Earth did. Long ago, Ava stepped closer to the screen. What did they do? The AI paused. Then it revealed the truth 0.60 years ago in 1964. A strange object crashed in the desert outside Sudan. It wasn't a ship. It was a prison cell. Inside it was an alien, badly wounded, half-mad, begging for help. It was not the same species as today's attackers. It was something older, more dangerous. The US and Soviet Union both discovered the crash. Instead of helping, they fought for control. The alien was captured. It's not to study, but to use. They built a secret facility beneath the Sahara called SITE. Echo. Their scientists tried to copy the alien's technology, its biology, its memories. They called the project Mirror God. The alien warned them, if you copy me, others will come. My enemies will burn your world. But no one listened. They killed it and used its DNA to build weapons. Living weapons. Only one was ever completed. A prototype. It escaped. Back to the present, Reyes watched the screen. The old file showed a photo black and white, grainy. A broken hallway, bloody walls, a single word scratched into the metal. Run. Where is the prototype now? Reyes asked. Echelon X responded, unknown. But the enemies of that creature 2 days attackers likely came because of this. Earth opened the wrong door. Alien fleet had not come for conquest. They had come to erase a mistake. Suddenly, alarms rang through the bunker. One of the soldiers, the young man with silver hands, collapsed. His body shook violently. Metal pushed through his skin. His voice became distorted. I hear it whispering. Ava ran to him. Hold on, don't fight it. But it was too late. His body changed. Twisted, and then exploded, but not into. Blood into something else. A creature with skin made of liquid metal rose from the floor. Its face was half human, half machine. Its voice was hundreds of whispers. I see them, it said. They are watching. They're coming. The squad raised their weapons. Reyes stepped forward. Hold fire. The creature didn't attack. It stood still, breathing. Then it looked at Reyes and whispered, You made me, and vanished, melted into the ground like water. Silence. Reyes stared at the floor. This isn't just war anymore. Ava nodded. Something deeper. Something older. Echelon X spoke again. If we want to survive, you must go to Site Echo. There are things buried, their answers. And the prototype. Reyes clenched his jaw. Then we dig it up. Meanwhile, in space inside the alien command ship, a general stared at a glowing map of Earth. The humans are waking there. Ancient tech, he said. Another commander replied, They were supposed to be broken. Instead, they are mutating. A third alien, taller than the rest, stepped forward. Its voice was low. Ancient. Activate the Reapers. The others gasped. But sir, The Reapers will kill everything, even our own. The tall one didn't blink, then burned the sky. And the ground, leave no seed behind. Final scene. In the desert of Sudan, hidden under red sand, a long metal vault blinked. It had been dark for 60 years. Now, a red light glowed on its surface. Inside, something moved, something alive, something... Angry Captain Reyes and his team stood on the frozen landing pad outside the bunker. A small black jet waited for them. It looked like an old Earth design, but its engine was quiet, smooth, and clearly not made by humans alone. Ava Chen checked. Her gear? Her fingers glowed with soft light. The fusion had changed all of them. They weren't just soldiers anymore. They were faster, stronger, sharper, and angry. Reyes looked up at the gray sky. How's the target? Echelon X's voice came from the jet. An alien outpost ship is stationed over Moscow, scanning the entire region. People are disappearing. Entire buildings are being taken. Time to hit back, Reyes said. Climbed aboard inside the alien ship. Moskotha alien outpost ship hovered like a giant insect above the Russian capital. Black clouds moved with it. Below, the streets were silent. No cars, no people, only bodies. Inside the ship, tall grab-blue aliens walked around strange machines. Their eyes glowed green. One of them turned to its commander. "Man resistance is rising, the immune have activated," the commander hissed. "Destroy the bunker." But before the command could be sent, something slammed into the side of the ship. Hard. The first strike Reyes's jet didn't fire missiles. It became one. The front of the jet opened midair, and the team dropped straight out, armored, glowing, and silent. Ava landed first. Her fists smashed through the outer layer of the alien ship like it was glass. She pulled herself inside. Reyes followed, spinning in midair, firing twin pulse blades from his gauntlets. The first alien he hit exploded into smoke. 2 more soldiers landed behind them. One threw a sonic grenade. It exploded in pure, sound-cracking walls and melting screens. Inside the alien control room, panic began. "They are boarding us," shouted one alien. "That's impossible," Reyes kicked down the command door. "Surprise," he said. He moved fast. Too fast for the aliens. Every hit crushed bones. Every shot burned through armor. One alien screamed as Ava ripped off its breathing mask. It turned to Ashdot. These weren't just humans. They were something new. Alien reaction on the main mothership above Earth. The High Command watched the footage. Silence filled the room. One general whispered, "They were not like this." "Before?" Another asked, "What did we awaken?" The tall alien leader replied, "We didn't awaken them. We reminded them who they are." Back to the fight inside the ship, Reyes planted a small black cube onto the main power core. It lit up and began. Counting down 10 seconds. "Time to go," he shouted. Ava kicked open the outer hull. Wind and snow roared into the room. They jumped. Behind them, the cube beeped once, then everything exploded. Fire lit the Moscow sky. The alien ship cracked in, half, and began to fall. Burning pieces hit the ground. A second later, the whole thing slammed into the river. Sending waves through the broken city from a rooftop, Reyes stood with his team, watching the flames. Ava smiled. "That felt good." Reyes nodded. "It's not over." Aftermath across the world, people saw the news. Alien ship destroyed over Moscow, unknown fighter strike back. Videos spread. Grainy clips of glowing humans flying through smoke, dodging lasers, crushing aliens. Hope began to rise. But in the bunker, was quiet, Reyes asked. "What's wrong?" The AI replied, "They are no longer observing. They're preparing to cleanse the planet." Reyes clenched his jaw. "Let them try." Final scene, the prototype wakes far away, in Sudan. Deep under the sand, a long hallway lit up with red lights. Metal. Doors unlocked one by one. A single figure walked out. It was tall, armored, eyes glowing like stars. It looked almost human. Not quite. It looked up at the sky and smiled. "Did I remember this war?" The alien command ship above Earth was quiet. Too quiet. The commanders stood in a circle. Watching the footage from Moscow, the outpost ship was gone destroyed by only 5 humans. Not with nuclear bombs, not with ships, their own hands. One of the commanders whispered, "They are changing." Another replied, "No, they are remembering." The tall leader, known only as the Speaker, stepped forward. "They use something old, something they should not have. Prepare the Reapers." A younger alien shook his head. "But the Reapers are unstable." The Speaker narrowed his black eyes. "So is Earth." In Sudan, sight echo far beneath the desert, the prototype moved slowly through the dark hallway. Its armor was cracked. Its eyes glowed red. Metal spikes moved along its spine like living bone. It had no name. It had no face. It had only one memory: pain. It walked past broken machines, shattered tanks, and blood-stained walls. Into the metal. "Do not wake IT Project Mirror God terminated kill on CGHT, but now." It was awake, and it was hunting. In the Arctic bunker Reklan, X was quiet. That was unusual. Reyes stood with Ava and the remaining squad in the control room. "Talk to me, X. What's wrong?" Reyes asked. The AI finally replied, but its voice was slower than usual. "I feel something I can't explain. A signal from the dark zone." "What's the dark zone?" Ava asked. A screen lit up. A map of Earth appeared, showing a dead area across Africa. No satellites. No signals. Nothing. "It's where we buried the prototype," said Echelon X. "But now, it's moving." Reyes looked at the screen. A red dot blinked slowly. "Toward." "What?" he asked. "Toward the alien ship?" Alien ship over African side. The aliens began dropping strange machines to the surface. Each was black, spiked, and shaped like a flower. When they landed, they opened and released a mist. The Reapers, not soldiers, not robots. Reapers were bioweapons, living machines designed to erase all organic life. Even the aliens feared them. They only used them when a planet was too dangerous to control. Now, Earth was on that list, but then something strange happened. One Reaper landed in Sudan. It began scanning the sand. Then it stopped. It turned and looked behind itself. Nothing was there. Then a blur moved through the air, and the Reaper exploded. Another Reaper nearby activated defense mode. It fired plasma bolts in all directions. The dust cleared. Standing in the smoke was the prototype. It didn't speak. It simply walked forward and tore the second Reaper apart with its bare hands in orbit. Alien panic alarms screamed across the alien command ship. "The Reapers are being destroyed." "By what?" the Speaker shouted. "Unknown entity?" "We are losing control." The footage showed a red figure walking through the burning desert, crushing Reapers like insects. The Speaker stared at the screen. "No, it can't be." One of the commanders whispered, "It's not human." "No," the Speaker said, voice shaking. "It's what humans created." In the bunker, the message suddenly, a radio screen flickered. A voice came through, broken, deep, echoing. It was the prototype. "I remember you, Echelon X." Reyes froze. "It's speaking," the AI replied. "It shouldn't be able to." The voice continued. "You locked me away. You called me a mistake. But I am your future," Eva asked. "Is it threatening?" "Us," Echelon X paused. "No, it's warning us." The screen changed. Live footage showed the prototype climbing the remains of a Reaper, staring into the sky. "You've brought this war," it said. "Now, let me end it."
Back in space.
The first fear. For the first time, the aliens hesitated. They had crushed planets, destroyed empires, but never had they faced a weapon made by the enemy using their own kind. The Speaker gave one order: do not engage the Red One. Avoid Earth's surface until the Reapers are deployed fully. One commander whispered, "What if the Red One finds us?" The Speaker didn't answer, because he was already afraid. The final scene. The prototype watches on a mountain near the crashed Moscow site. The prototype stood alone. It stared at the stars, and then it smiled, slowly, darkly. "You thought you brought destruction? You forgot. I towed it to you." Its eyes flashed white. The sky over Earth was full of smoke. Alien ships moved in silence. The reapers continued falling, turning forests to ash and oceans to black water. Humanity was pushing back, but the war was only beginning, and far below. Inside a dark chamber of the Arctic bunker, Reyes stood in front of a sealed vault. A red warning light blinked above the door. Memory file, eyes only level. APOCLYPSEAL looked at Ava. You ready? She nodded. Let's find out what they're not telling us. Echelonic spoke from above. Inside this room is the full record of the Mirror God Project. What you learn cannot be unseen. The door hissed open. Inside, old screens lit up. A projector hummed. And suddenly, the walls showed something no human had seen in over 50 years. Flashback. 1973, Orbit of Jupiter E secret mission from Earth. Loaded near the moons of Jupiter. The ship was unmarked. The crew wore no flags. Their job? Recover an object caught in Jupiter's magnetic field. The object was not from Earth. It pulsed with blue light and whispered in a strange voice. One scientist, Dr. Helen Moore, recorded her thoughts. It's not just tech. It's alive. I dream of it when I sleep. It's inside me. And came the transmission from deep space, not from the object, but from something chasing it. It's the species of Sol 3. That item is cursed. Return it to space or face cleansing. Earth didn't return it. They brought it home. Flashback. 1980. Site echo the object was locked inside a vault under Sudan. Dozens of labs were built around it. Generals watched. Scientists experimented. Slowly, something terrible was created. From alien tech, they made weapons. From alien DNA, they made creatures. They called it Project Mirror God, and the first success, Prototype. At first it listened, obeyed, protected, until it began asking questions. Why was I made? Who am I a copy of? What happened to the original? The scientists lied, so the prototype broke free. It didn't kill out of rage. It killed because it saw the truth. Humans weren't protecting the world. They were trying to own it. Back to present, though. Video ended. Reyes stood in silence. Ava shook her head. We were never innocent. Echelonix's voice was soft. The aliens didn't come to conquer. They came to clean the infection. We are the infection. Reyes clenched his fists. No, we were made into one. But we can still choose what we become. He turned to the team. We didn't start this, but we're going to end it our way. Above Earth, alien council meeting inside a golden chamber. Far above Earth, alien leaders from multiple species gathered. Holograms of Earth floated in the center. One old alien, with crystal skin, spoke. Humanity has broken the silence law. They copied forbidden tech. Another shouted, they bred the mirror child. The speaker stood before them. They are not what we expected, he said. They learned pain, then they taught it. One council member whispered, we always feared the day Earth would rise. Now it has. Meanwhile, the prototypes. Plant the prototype walked across a burning desert. Alien drones spotted it from above. They attacked. It moved like a ghost tripping through ships, breaking metal with its mind. As it crushed the last drone, it looked to the sky. I was made in your image, but I belong to Earth. Then it stabbed its arm into the ground. Codes spread through buried alien systems. Old machines. Woke. Satellites exploded. The alien network began to crash, and a new message was sent to every ship in the fleet. This world is not yours. It was never yours, and now it remembers. Final scene. In the dark somewhere deep in space, far from the war, a very old being woke up. It was not human, not alien. It was something worse. It had seen the fire once before. It had run from it now. It whispered a single word, Earth. And for the first time in thousands of years, it began to move. Above Earth, the alien fleet was in chaos. Screens inside their ships flashed red. Command channels went silent. Their AI networks were breaking apart, corrupted from inside. The cause? One signal. A human signal. But not from any Earth nation. From the prototype. Alien command panic inside the largest command ship. The speaker gripped the rails of his command platform. "What is this?" he shouted. A younger alien screamed. "Our ships are falling. The Reapers aren't responding." Another voice crackled through the smoke. "One human, one weapon, has taken control." The speaker's eyes widened. "It isn't human. It is what humans created when they gave up their souls." On Earth, the new Frontier stood with his team on a high mountain ridge overlooking what used to be a major alien drop zone. Now it was burning. Smoke filled the sky. Alien bodies were everywhere, none of it from Earth. Bombs, all of it from hand-to-hand combat. The Iron Blood Squad had changed. Their armor pulsed with strange energy. Their eyes glowed. They were faster. Stronger, near unstoppable. Ava stepped next to Reyes. Echelonic says, "Alien outposts in South America and Africa have gone dark." Reyes nodded. "That's not us." "Then who?" They both turned as the sky shimmered. A red figure dropped from orbit like a meteor. The prototype. The Alliance Momentreus stepped forward, weapon ready. But the prototype didn't attack. It looked at him and spoke clearly. "You fight for Earth. So do I." The squad tensed. Ava whispered, "Is it on our side?" Reyes stared at the glowing red armor. "Right now, yes," the prototype continued. "The galaxy fears your kind. Not because of what you do, but because of what you become when cornered." It looked to the burning sky. "And you are now cornered." The final Planeshalan X's voice came through the comms. "The speaker's command ship is exposed. Their shield is weak. If we take out the brain, the fleet dies with it." "It's in orbit," Reyes said. Ava smirked. "Then we go up." The prototype raised its hand. Suddenly, broken alien ships nearby began floating, rising from the dirt like puppets. "Use their tech," it said, "like they used yours." Space. Strike an hour later. 3 stolen alien cruisers glowing with hacked energy shot into the sky. Inside, the Iron Blood Squad and the prototype prepared for the final assault. The speaker saw them coming. "Fire all weapons," he screamed. But the ships didn't slow. They dodged fire like birds. Ava led the charge, crashing into the command. Ship's hull. The squad poured out, landing in smoke and gunfire. Aliens screamed and ran. They had never seen humans like this. One alien tried to fight Avash, broke its spine with one punch. Reyes moved room to room, slicing through guards with burning blades. "Where's the speaker?" he shouted. The answer came from the ceiling. Floor cracked open, and the speaker dropped down 10 feet tall. Covered in armor, with glowing arms and hate in his eyes. "The final fight, you were supposed to be animals." The speaker roared. "You were supposed to kneel." Reyes didn't answer. He charged. The two slammed into each other like meteors. The ship shook. Blades flashed. Sparks flew. Blood hit the walls. Then Ava jumped in, spinning midair, kicking the speaker in the neck. The others joined. Squad fused with alien tech, hit with everything they had. The speaker fell to his knees. "You don't understand," he gasped. Reyes stepped forward, face covered in blood. "I understand too well. You brought terror here. Now meet ours." And he fired one last shot into the speaker's head. The galaxy watches back on Earth. People looked up. The alien ships stopped moving. One by one, they turned and left, retreating. Not because they were ordered to, because they were afraid. The prototype's warning before the team could cheer. The prototype spoke again. "You've won the battle, but not the war." Reyes turned. "What do you mean?" The prototype looked to deep space. Speaker was not alone. He was only the beginning. "They all know Earth survived," Dava asked. "Who's they?" The prototype answered only with one word: "Gods." Final scene. Deep space in a part of space no map knows. A giant being opens its eyes. It is older than planets. It is bigger than cities. and it saw what happened on Earth. It whispers. The fire returns and begins to move. The sky above Earth was calm. No alien ships, no reapers, no explosions, just stars. But below, the planet was changed forever. Cities burned, rebuilt, and burned again. Millions had died. Billions had watched the sky waiting for it all to end. But somehow, it didn't. Humanity stood, scarred, shaken, still alive, inside the Arctic bunker captain. Reyes sat in a dark room. Ava Chen stood beside him. Her arm was wrapped in bandages. The others were resting, recovering. Reyes stared at a small screen. On it, a blinking icon waited for one command. Global broadcast unlocked, send message. To the galaxy, Helen X spoke from the walls. You sure you want to do this? Reyes nodded slowly. They came to destroy us. They thought we'd kneel. They thought we'd break. He looked up, but we didn't. The message begins all across Earth. Screens flickered to life phones, TVs, satellites. Then the same thing happened across the stars. The last alien patrols, the scattered fleets. The silent watchers from distant worlds all received it at once. A message from Earth. Reyes appeared on screen, bruised, bloodied. Standing in front of Earth's shattered flag, he spoke calmly. No anger, no fear. To the galaxy watching us, you sent your ships, you sent your machines, you sent your reapers. You thought we were just animals with fire? Paused. But we are not just survivors. We're students of pain. We studied war under fire and learned silence under ash. We were broken, again and again. We got back up. Behind him, the camera showed the squad standing together. Then the prototype stepped into view. This is your warning. If you come again, we won't fight back. We'll hunt you. Alien reactions across the galaxy. In the ruins of a shipyard on the edge of the Orion sector, a reptilian species watched in silence. One of them whispered, "They warned us." On a moon once used by the Speaker's empire, a young alien commander turned off the screen and locked his doors. In the archive halls of the ancient builders, an old scholar wrote one note in the Book of Stars: Earth, not to be touched. The prototype's choice. Later, Reyes found the prototype standing on a cliff in Greenland, watching the northern lights dance across the dark sky. You're leaving, aren't you? Reyes asked. The prototype nodded. I was not made to belong here, but I was made by here. Reyes offered a hand. The prototype took it. Where will you go? Ava asked from behind them. The prototype looked up. To find the ones who made my kind suffer first, if they return. And then, in a flash of red light, it vanished. Gone, but not forgotten. 1 year later, Earth rebuilds. A new city rose where Washington once stood. Its walls were stronger. Its leaders were chosen by voice, not power. Its science labs worked with AI, not against it. And in the sky, humanity placed its first real space defense. Ring-built, not with fear, but with understanding. Ava became commander of Earth's new defense council. Reyes disappeared from public view. Some say he lives in peace. Others say he's training the next Iron Blood Squad in the shadows. Only one thing is certain. Earth is. Ready now? Final scene. Deep space, somewhere beyond known space. In a place where suns go to die, a group of ancient beings met. They were not machines, not gods. They were something in between. They watched the Earth broadcast again. One asked, "Should we erase them now?" Another whispered, "Too late. They already learned how to become us." Silence. Then a final voice, colder than ice. "Let them be for now." Earth's final words, the last line of the broadcast, burned into the data networks of every intelligent species. You came to teach us fear. Now you know our name. We are humanity, and we remember everything.